Hey, folks, welcome to Spooky Appalachia. Today, I've got one of our longtime fans on who wanted to share an experience that he had at his old job. This is an older story that I'm having this individual on to kind of retell because it's you guys have been loving it, and I've been loving doing it. So, here he is. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
So, this was at your old workplace that you worked at in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yep.
Where was it about?
Um, I believe this location was on Airport Road near. I don't know Roanoke very well.
Uh-huh.
uh, yeah, if you look up Airport Road, you'd find it. There's a graveyard, and it's right across the graveyard. Funny enough.
Okay. And it looked like an old mansion basically, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think they told me it was built in like 1920 some 28.
Oh, okay.
So it's been there almost 100 years, I guess.
Mhm. And I think it used to be a restaurant for a really long time if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I was told that it started as a farmhouse, and some guy named they called him Old Man Coulter used to live there, and then he passed away, and then at some point the a French restaurant bought it and ran it for several years, and then somewhere along the line, the company I worked for bought it and kind of renovated it and made it into an office space.
Huh.
They
A little weird that they turned that like an old what you said it was a farmhouse. It looked like an old mansion or something into an office space.
Yeah, I guess it kind of maybe back in that day it was probably considered more of a mansion. But it's a really nice building, and the company I worked for a group of companies, so I was an IT guy, and there was a group of companies, and just this was just one of them, and they were a construction company. So
Okay.
I guess to show off their construction ability, they remodeled this farmhouse and made it to an office, and it looked really
Uh,
nice. It was really cool inside.
so did it seem like an office?
Yeah, kind of. It was more closed in. A lot of offices are more open. This has had
Hmm.
a lot of twists and turns, and like bedrooms or turned into offices and stuff like that. And of course, they
Oh.
expanded it. And so there was the original, I guess, mansion, and then they kind of built around it and made it a bigger building.
Oh, okay. So you said that there were two different ghosts that people said that were supposed to haunt that place. Did people you work with tell you about this, or?
Yeah, when I first was going over there to work, I was told that they kind of were joking around saying the place was haunted, and over time I got more details. And apparently, the old man Coulter, the old owner of it, uh, haunted the place. They said, and then there was this blue lady that you could see in the windows sometime from outside. And the story was that if you smell cigar smoke, you know the ghost is near, because I guess the old man Coulter was a heavy smoker.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a non-smoking building. So the funny thing is every now and then you'd be working, and you would get a kind of a whiff of almost like cigarette smoke, and you're like, what the heck? And I always went over there, well, not always, but most of the time I went over there around lunchtime. That way I could kind of work in peace and not bump into everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would do stuff like rewire network jacks and run cables, access points, stuff like that. And so it's a little bit easier to do when no one's around. And while I'm sitting
Yeah.
there working, I would get a whiff of cigar smoke or something. At least that's what it smelled like to me. And then I'd be like, huh. So I'll peek around the corner or walk down a hall to see if anybody walked in from lunch. I was thinking maybe someone was smoking on their lunch break, and then they walked in. But a lot of times I didn't see nobody. And then the smell would kind of fade away. And I always thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So you were pretty much by yourself or completely by yourself,
Yeah,
and
there might
you.
have been like one or two other people in the whole building, but it was a pretty big building, so I wasn't nobody around me.
So this happened to you multiple times.
Yeah, I've noticed it several times. It got to the point where didn't really worry about it. Sometimes I wondered if
Huh.
maybe it's just old smell and the building was, whiffing up where I was working on stuff, but it was kind of strange, I have to say.
Huh. Now, did any of your coworkers say they had any weird experiences there?
Yeah, I had some coworkers who claimed they smelled the cigar smoke too, but a lot of times, one of the funny things was the security system would go off randomly at nighttime,
Oh, wow.
and but some people thought it was like a bat or something that might have gotten the building. I don't know if they ever confirmed that or not, but I thought that was kind of a little interesting thing too.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I mentioned before. This is a story we featured it a couple years ago, but I think when we first started, it was one of the first stories.
yeah,
A lady left a comment. I think it was on YouTube or something, or maybe some form of social media. She said that she had been to that graveyard and seen the lady, the blue lady, from the graveyard looking out a window from there.
oh,
I
that's
forget when
cool.
it was, but yeah. Did you ever hear anybody say anything about seeing that blue lady?
Not while I worked there, and I never seen it personally, but I did hear that they would be like on the second second or third story. I can't remember window, looking out over towards the graveyard. So if they
Oh,
saw it from
that's
the
weird.
graveyard, it would make
Yeah, I
sense.
didn't know about that part. She just told me in some shape or form, told me that she was in the graveyard and she looked up and she saw like a blue outline of a lady kind of looking out the window.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
Unfortunately, I
that's
don't really know any history about
yeah,
the
yeah.
Blue Lady. I asked around, but I guess the place has been bought and hands have changed so much that I think a lot of the original story might be lost or hard to
Hmm.
find.
Well, hopefully we're documenting it today. But I think that's really cool. That person, I didn't even know about the whole looking out on the graveyard part. Someone completely different told me that they saw something that was looking out on the graveyard, and you had heard the same thing. That's
Yeah, that's
really
pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
I know
that's
we used to joke because when when they first bought the building and they were hooking up, I guess the cables and stuff.
mhm.
One of the IT guys said he was in the building with his phone and a flashlight, walking from room to room, checking jacks before the power was turned on or something.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, "I wonder what people think if they're driving by and they see these lights floating through the window."
It's hard to say. Do you happen to remember the name of the Italian restaurant? I thought I saw. I
um,
looked it up. I forgot the name, but I think that that I read that it was open from sometime in the 1970s to the late 90s, maybe 97. Maybe
so
I'm thinking maybe listeners might know more about the place.
it was La Masson or something. I don't know if I
La
pronounced it.
Mason.
Yeah, maybe it's French, so I assume it's got.
Yeah, I think I think that would be La Mason.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe.
that's it. It's
I'm thinking the people.
Maison, I think.
Yeah, I think people might know this in the comments. We got some listeners in Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, I think it was around for a long time in Roanoke,
Hmm.
but like I said, I didn't really go to Roanoke other than for work, so
Yeah.
I had never heard of it before then.
So if you've heard of this place, let us know in the comments. Maybe you know more about the lore of this place or something. It'd be cool if we could get inside and do one of our spooky sightseeing videos there too. If anybody knows the current owners, let us know. And thank you so much for coming on and sharing this story with us, and making it to where we can retell it and from a different perspective. It's really appreciated, and thanks for sticking with Spooky Appalachia for so long. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I know you watch almost every video, if not every video, but really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And remember, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and if you haven't, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And have a good night, folks.